Oh yes, Robert Pattinson. You are a man of culture. He did an interview for Tenet and he's one of us. It's confirmed. He knows the pain. I don't know why I feel so hype about this. I don't know why this makes me happy today. I mean, Robert Pattinson, I know we gave you a lot of stick, bro. Especially during the weird... Was it cringy? I don't know. The movies weren't bad. I think the culture that came tagged with these films was a bit cringy, but Twilight. We gave you a lot of stick for the Twilight era. Everything is a better love story into Twilight. He did an interview, and as I think the interview is from a gaming website, GameSpot Universe, we're going to play a little clip.
Tenet really reminded me of a video game in some ways, you know, with the action and the story and, you know, the time inversion. So, you know, I work for primarily a video game website, so I'd like to ask both of you, do you have a favorite video game of all time?
Yeah.
The smirk, yeah, you can see his face light up, even at the question. I love that. Patterson, my son. Yeah, he loves it.
And Robert?
Mine, I think it's a lot of people's favorite game. Final Fantasy VII was, still one of the most, probably one of the only times I've cried in my life is when Aerith dies.
Oh, I feel you, bro. I mean, Jesse got me first, personally. She got me there first. Only time he's ever cried was freaking Aerith died. My gosh. Tash, I'm doing a video on Robert Pattinson. Yeah, he just said in an interview that the only time he's ever cried was when Aerith died. Really? And the FF7 is his favourite game. Isn't that hype? What do you think of Robert Pattinson? Why does everything have to come down to whether you find them attractive or not?
Yeah, who's he?
He was Edward Cullen in Twilight. You know when your little group of mates at school got into that weird Twilight cringe era? Yeah, big time.
It was a very impactful performance for sure.
Yeah. My first love.
My first love. It's official. Robert Pattinson is a human being. I'm now officially a Robert Pattinson fan. I'm in. We all are. I've got to say, I only just noticed this today, really. I'm going to play a little clip of it, but there's a new teaser for the Batman film. Yeah, Pattinson's the next Batman. And this looks savage. This doesn't hold any punches. Here we go. It's 2 minutes 20. I'll play a bit. But he's there. He's him. I knew this ages ago, but I never actually kind of thought it would happen. I don't know why, but it's happening.
If you are justice,
dark, gritty.
Please do not lie. What is the price for your blind eye?
Yes. This is it. Oh my god, look at this guy. Joker followers.
I'm vengeance.
Brutal. Oh my god, he went in. Jeez, wow.
This guy's crazy.
I love that, man. Gritty as hell, just the right amount of punch. Pattinson he's a pretty versatile actor. I'm gonna give it to him. He's just a versatile dude. He knows the way of the Aerith. He's felt the pain, and I'm just gonna play that clip again.
Probably one of the only times I've cried in my life is when Aerith dies.
Damn, man. That's why Aerith needs to die. I'm saying that right there is the reason Aerith still needs to unequivocally, no alternate option, no save Aerith DLC, no alternate save Aerith option. She has to, for that exact reason. Final Fantasy VII has a lot of standout moments. There's a lot of reasons. You can ask any fan and they'll give different reasons. Me, it's Jessie dying scene, and of course still Aerith's death. I mean, I don't think there's any FF7 fan who doesn't in some way tie the impactfulness and significance of Aerith's death to why they love it so much. I mean, I know there's a few, I've seen a few people say, oh, I was glad when Aerith died. I mean, they're just savages and animals. Some people just want to watch the world burn, I guess. But yeah, it's crazy to me. 23 years on, and Final Fantasy VII is still getting brought up by some of the most obscure people. Even, like, there's been so many places FF7 has popped up in weird areas.
But behold your partners! Is on the line. Brock Lesnar versus Chris Benoit for the WWE title. Whoa! Chad, cool, man. What are you doing? I think I'm playing Final Fantasy X too, baby. This is awesome. Look at that. There's Yuna. Yeah! Yuna, that's the girl, man. Yuna. You gotta get down Final Fantasy, bro. This thing is unbelievable. Oh, yeah.
Like, FF7's reach is so freaking diverse, man, to so many different age groups of people. I can really see so many people who fell in love with OG FF7 just have moved on in life. They're just family people, too busy, grown-ass adults, got other careers, acting. Not to say that Patterson isn't a current active gamer, I don't actually know, but I think when time and time again, the one thing that everyone draws to was Aerith's death just breaking them, being one of the first things that they cried at or in the significant top list. And I think it's not just the kind of crying where it's just, you know, the little tear coming out. I think the genuine full-blown like just mess it all over the floor. No. Snivelly, tasty cake kind of crying. No, just me. The kind of touched crying is what I'm talking about. Like sometimes I can watch games or films and not be that connected to the character, and it will still like pull just like a tear from me. I can get weepy at the smallest of things, basically, if the scene is set up right. But Aerith was a whole different thing for a lot of people. It was the kind that just struck somewhere. It just landed. It hit you right through the middle, that you were playing in this dystopian steampunk, everyone's horrible dog-eat-dog world. Like, there wasn't really any nice people in Final Fantasy VII. I mean, I know we got our main crew like Tifa and Barrett, but even Barrett can be like really mean. Like, there was a lot of mean people, and in this mean world, when there was just this one singular woman who just made it all seem so much nicer, to see her get taken out the way that she did, it was so freaking bold and just striking. And they really weren't even going to go that avenue. Originally, Barrett was going to be the one to die. Yep, the black dude died first. No, that they went top tier, all in. It was Aerith. And I think like even Sakaguchi has spoofed about this when he was doing that spoof, saying that his real aspiration was to become a DJ, and that all of his attempts at these weird wacky plots was just trying to get himself fired so he could pursue his real dream in DJing, but they kept landing. I mean, you've probably seen it, but
okay, you like wizards? You like magic? Well, let's flip the script a little bit. Do you like riding on the backs of whales? Having a trip to the moon?
Number 5, get to work.
The main character's name is Butts.
Oh my god!
Okay, Final Fantasy VI. You know what? Magic is dead. Robots everywhere. Oh, in the world? Yeah, it's run by a cloud. And you know what? He destroys it.
Hey, that was your best one, so 7.
Okay, the world is dead. Humanity lives under a pizza in the sky. No magic. No, they got rocks. And everyone's mean, except for this one nice. We'll make her a girl, and we'll murder the girl. We'll just murder the girl.
Not worthy.
We're not worthy. You're so good.
gotta have a lot of respect for the guy for doing that, especially when at the end of that spoof they roast in on Spirits Within, the huge big budget movie that flopped. It was a box office tank, although saying that, actually it has recouped over the life of it quite a bit of its original investment. Funnily enough, most people don't know that. They just think it was a flop. It was a flop at the time, but it has kind of clawed back. But regardless, Sakaguchi kind of fell out with Square Enix about that, and it was a whole shit show. Sakaguchi being the father of Final Fantasy, for anyone who don't know. I don't know, we might have just Patterson fans here. Hello, Patterson fans. You're backing a good boy. He's a good boy. I can confirm as the Final Fantasy peasant, and I'd like to join your group. This is a merge, an official collaboration between Patterson, and Final Fantasy fans, and we're all on board for it. Bootman ain't even come out yet, and I'm already calling it. Pattinson for the Oscar. Nominee that man. Pattinson for president? I'm pretty far out there when it comes to the things that I'm willing to have introduced into Final Fantasy VII at this point. That's why a lot of my theory videos and, they could pull from this and this from Crisis Core and Dirge of Cerberus, and they could pull this and the plot could go down this avenue. And the ending of FF7 Remake has really got me in that groove where I'm actually really welcoming and kind of more hyped for the new stuff than ever, really. Not to say I still don't want to feel the original FF7 story and hit those main significant beats and relive those moments that were there without them being altered beyond recognition, basically. I don't want that, but I'm pretty far out there in terms of the number of things that change. And I can understand, people when they say, it's like, this all sounds good, like that does sound like a cool story, but maybe in like a Final Fantasy 16. As for Final Fantasy VII, I just want the game I played. I just want to feel that, experience that. I'm not interested in it being swapped and changed and crazy new things introduced into the plot. Even though they might work, I just want that, and I can really understand that. I think I've been a bit harsh on the purists or the like for likes. I think we've kind of mocked them a little bit too much. I mean, some of them can be the noisy, loud, arrogant, Square don't have the rights to change kind of tonality, but there are just some like for likes. I just would prefer it to be like that. So we're squashing beef. We're all Pattinson fans now, and we're squashing beef on the purists. And mostly because, as much as I'm happy for things to get changed, I'm going to make a flag on Aerith's death. I'm putting the flag in the ground. No further than that. You can't undo her death, because for too many people, that was the significant, standout, defining moment of Final Fantasy VII. And I think Square Enix know that, and that's why it's going to happen regardless. And I say regardless of if they trick us into thinking otherwise, trick us into thinking that we've broken destiny and boundless, terrifying freedom. It includes saving the girl who, like Patterson was our first freaking love. First. Pash, you there? First and only. I think it's more likely they'll take that route into building up hope just to crush us all the harder. But regardless, what I definitely know is whenever that scene comes out, whenever that Aerith's death scene emerges, in whatever format it'll be, and I'm sure that, in fact, I'm absolutely confident that it's going to be a tearjerker. One of the things that I do have full faith in Square Enix still for, despite many of the shenanigans and times they've given me reason to doubt, one thing I'm confident they can still do is an emotional scene. And however they do her death, I mean, even if they screwed it up, it's just such an iconic moment that the second that hits the internet, everyone's gonna watch it. Every person, even if they're not playing FF7, I bet even if they never even played the original, but certainly all those original Final Fantasy VII players who have scattered out into life, they're no longer really gamers, they've kind of moved on and they've not even played the remake. Her new death being out there is going to come across their desk at some point, and it will just be that moment that there will be so many people come back out of the shadows and watch that and just re-feel that magic of Final Fantasy VII, be re-remembered of it, and that's a beautiful thing, man. That's a beautiful thing. And that's all I had to really say, so good man, Patterson. But take it easy, guys, and let me know in the comment section below if you agree with that. Where do you stand on Aerith's death? How defining is it to you? And was Aerith your first love? So yeah, this is an invitation for... Until the next video, Cooper Man.
Fireworks to light up your night sky. In a flash, life and love can go awry. Let me take you higher. Fulfill your desire.